In the third year of our marriage, I couldn't stand the sexless relationship anymore, so I slipped some drugs into my wife's soup. Cindy's cheeks became flushed, her eyes became hazy, and she gave me a seductive look. This was the first time she had behaved like this around me. However, when she realized that it was me, she grabbed my throat, furious. I told you, my career is my top priority right now. Romance should be set aside first. How could you drug my soup? Do you only think with your lower body? I tried to explain, but she tossed me into the cold swimming pool, despite the fact that I was still recovering from surgery. Soak in the pool water to clean your filthy mind, I pleaded desperately, but she completely ignored me and even had people keep watch to prevent me from getting out. It wasn't until I was shivering and turning blue from the cold winter night that she finally showed mercy. I stumbled back to our room, only to hear her suppressed moans, and the guy on top of her was none other than her brother-in-law. This was what she meant by putting her career first? I wiped away my tears, went downstairs, and called my father-in-law. Stanley, I agree to let Cindy be a surrogate, but you have to promise me one thing. Stanley's moment of confusion vanished instantly, his voice now filled with excitement. Really, Jeremy? You're willing to let Cindy bear Duncan's child? You're not sleepwalking, are you? Oh, it's great that you've come to your senses. I'll agree to anything you want. No, not just one thing, but 100. I hugged my shivering body, tears streaming down my face. But now, my wife, who would never let me touch her, was indulging in pleasure with her brother-in-law. What was the point of me guarding this marriage then? She actually called me filthy when she threw me into the pool. How ridiculous. I chuckled self-deprecatingly. I'm not sleepwalking, Stanley. As long as Cindy signs the document, I'll do as you say. Stanley was overjoyed. I knew from the first time I met you that you're an understanding and sensible man who's willing to make sacrifices. Don't worry, Cindy is just having a baby. You two will still be a loving couple after she gives birth. That will never change. But the moans from upstairs, which got increasingly louder, were like a rusty knife that was slowly cutting open the lie that had been maintained for 3 years. I tried to suppress the pain in my heart and fell asleep with my mind in chaos. When I suggested intimacy, she gently kissed my cheek and said, Jeremy, the company is at a critical juncture. I need to focus on my career. You understand, don't you? I did not understand. We don't need to have a baby. It won't be a problem. She reasoned, condoms aren't 100% effective. What if there's an accident? I would have to go through the pain of having an abortion. Could you bear to see me suffer? I loved her, and I couldn't bear to see her suffer. But reality dealt me a heavy blow. The surgery wound was excruciating, and my broken heart was also in pain. With my last strength, I finished the divorce agreement, then called for an ambulance before losing consciousness. The next day, I woke up in the hospital. Cindy was by my bedside, her eyes full of concern and anxiety. Why didn't you tell me you were feeling unwell? The doctor said you have a high fever. Does it hurt anywhere else? She reached out to touch my forehead. I instinctively recoiled, my gaze sweeping over her neck. There, several bright red hickeys remained, sharp and painful to my eyes. Cindy noticed my gaze and tried to cover them up by pulling up her collar. You didn't come back to the room last night, so I was the mosquitoes' only target. Why would there be mosquitoes in the dead of winter? Cindy asked me kindly. What would you like to eat? I didn't answer. I closed my eyes, ignoring her. Just then, Duncan came into the ward carrying a thermos.